Shawty, she don't miss. I'm loving all the combo, everything she say switch. I'm loving all the vibes, how she play Nintendo Switch. She know about Golden State and Stephen Curry, how he switch. But do you like What's up, Digidestin and Pokemon trainers? This is Do You Like Anime? My name is Pierre Rouge, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about the two powerhouses of the late 90s and early 2000s Saturday morning cartoon block. What am I talking about? Well, by the title of this video, you already know is Digimon and Pokemon, and which one was better, which one was worse? Well, actually, Digimon was better, and we're going to give you 14 reasons why. Let's go. Number 1. Better continuity. The Digimon continuity is just so much better. We don't even need to get started on Ash Ketchum, bro. We know what he's been doing for the past 20 years, bro. Every episode has a progression to the story. It has character development, obstacles, villains, plots, and plot twists depending on which season you're watching. As opposed to Ash Ketchum, who has been 10 years old for 20 plus years. He's been 10 years old for 20 plus years. That's 27 seasons, 1,269 episodes, 127 video games. Ash Ketchum has lived long enough to get the Nintendo 64 for his 10th birthday and then the PlayStation 5 for his 10th Christmas. Make that make sense, bro. Number 2. More compelling characters. Now, it is no mystery that Ash is so static that if you wore a wool sweater while watching Pokemon, you will have generated enough static electricity to power the Thunder Megazords and the Dragon Zord all by yourself. The Digidestin have different personality types, and to be honest, they're as relatable can get. Take Ty, for example. Ty was a soccer player who wasn't even the captain of his soccer team, and now he has to lead the Digidestin into defeating the villains. That's a lot of pressure on him. As he goes along, he doesn't always succeed, but he still finds a way to make it out of every situation. Now take Izzy. Izzy is the genius of the group. He's super smart, he's super intelligent, but he's always so anxious because he's put under pressure a lot of times, and his intellect is really sometimes the main factor in what could make or break the team or the mission and their goal that they're trying to accomplish. That's a lot of pressure. Mind you, all these kids are like 12 and under, bro. Then you have Mimi. Mimi is the spoiled girl who never lifted a finger to do anything for herself in her life ever, but eventually she learns to forsake her high-nosed tendencies to put herself at risk on the front lines in order to protect her friends. 3. Better story. Now, there are so many components that make this such a great show to enjoy. You have the character development, main villains becoming a subplot for even greater villains, and you have redemption arcs for protagonists and antagonists alike. Plus the compassion, companionship, and camaraderie of the Digidestin and their partners all working together towards one goal just meshes together so well for an awesome adventure. Number 4, badass characters. Now, Digimon has possibly some of the coolest characters of its genre. Now you have Leomon, who is a super brolic, 10-foot-tall lion with Mike Amiri jeans that boxes like Prime Mike Tyson. And then you have War Greymon, who is so badass that the villains decided to make an evil version of him who was, if not equally, more badass than him to steal his drip and flex on him. That was fire. Come on now, not to mention, badass, tough. Come on now, Digimon really got it when it comes to characters like this. Number 5 is better evolution. Now, Digivolution isn't something that just happens because they got beat up or they came in contact with the rare stone or because they need new mega hyper ultimate evolution versions of the original characters to keep their franchise alive. Digivolution is a synergetic connection invoked by friendship, love, and the desire to protect one another. When Digimon evolved, you felt something. You felt passion, excitement, and you knew the battles were gonna get kicked up a notch. Number 6 is more purpose. Now you see in Digimon, characters aren't just running around trying to be the very best or catch every single creature they see for every single episode 20 plus seasons. Now, initially, the Digidestined are just trying to figure out how they got to the digital world and how to get home. Also, along the way, they uncover information that shifts their purpose from not just escaping, but figuring out why they are there, why they were chosen to be the Digidestined, and also how to save the digital world. Now, number 7, you have interactions and chemistry. The interactions of Pokemon pretty much follow a similar formula throughout the entire series. Traveling to the next city, followed by a problem, usually them being hungry or something. Misty getting aggravated by Ash's misogyny. Ash encounters a Pokemon or trainer that he eventually battles at the end of the episode. Brock flirting with Nurse Joy or Officer Jenny. Digimon has many different characters, all with different personality types, the Digimon included. Like when Matt the Loner got paired up with Ty the Leader, and whenever they're together for too long, their egos seem to explode and they start fighting, but eventually they get to the point where their Digimon fuse together because they've become so close. And then you have TK, who's the terrified kid of the group. You know, he's so uncertain of the future. He thinks he's always in danger, and eventually he's thrown in a situation that forces him to be courageous and pretty much grow up. And with their Digimon being an extension of their partners, they really kind of manifest and push their Digidestined partner towards that side of them that they didn't know they were capable of. Which brings us to number 8. The Digimon can talk. Now, unlike Pokemon, which oftentimes they can speak, but it gets lost in the translations.
Pika Pika, Pikachu, Pika Pika, Pika.
Yeah. What was that, Pikachu? Our Digimon can articulate and express themselves, and these interactions and conversations that they have amongst themselves and the Digidestined is what pushes the story forward. Number 9 is better fights. Now, Pokemon fights pretty much follow this same formula. You take a turn attacking, I take a turn attacking. We both fight until our Pokemon run out of HP or whatever. In the Pokemon universe, all of the Pokemon pretty much do the same attacks based off their element or type. You know, grass type Pokemon do grass type moves, fire type Pokemon do fire type moves, and so on and so forth. It gets pretty repetitive after a while because each Pokemon is almost essentially capable of learning every move based on their element type. Now, Digimon fights are more unique because they all have different battle styles, Digimon and their opponents alike. And when the Digimon evolve, they unlock new forms and also new moves that make the battle even more unpredictable. And I think that unpredictableness really makes for a even more engaging fight because both sides are fighting to survive. This isn't just some, okay, we fight, you fight, we end up at the Pokemon Center shaking each other hands. This is real life survival for them. Number 10, better designs. Now, Pokemon designs are pretty cool, but they're loosely based on animals. You have giant lizards, rats with electrical abilities, squirrel turtles, so on and so forth. Now, the Digimon designs are more unique because, I mean, where else can you see a dinosaur turn into a weapon of mass destruction and then turn into an omnipotent knight in shining armor? Also, you have a stuffed animal that transforms into a werewolf.
He got that shit on though.
Or what about the cat that turns into an angel baddie? Come on now. Number 11, better villains. Now, I'm not sure if there are any villains in Pokemon at all. Does Ash have any enemies or, you know, long-lasting antagonists? Like, does Gary count as an op? I'm not sure. I don't know. But all I know is in Digimon, they have villains and their villains get busy.
Oh, Pierre, but aren't you forgetting somebody? What about Team Rocket, Jesse and James? They were villains.
Yes, I am forgetting them. And you know what? Thank you for reminding me, because now that they are on the forefront of my mind, I have something that the anime community really needs to hear, bro. This is something that we've all been holding back for a long time. Team Rocket has to be single-handedly the worst pair, I ain't even gonna say pair, possibly the worst organization and villains in anime history. First of all, they're stupid as a box of tools. They spent the entire series trying to catch Pikachu when Pikachu literally has been proven to not even be the strongest Pokemon in the Pokemon universe. They literally couldn't catch a Pokemon with a Master Ball to save their life. I don't know who's cutting their salary or paying them to even be a part of this organization, but they are complete failures. They completely suck as villains, as characters. I don't even know how they got an episode dedicated to them with all their uselessness. and dare I say, they might possibly be the Yamcha of the Pokemon universe. I mean, they can't catch Pokemon, they aren't good villains, and somehow they are still employed by this organization, which I believe is a multi-billion-dollar organization for the Pokemon black market, and they still can't get anything done. I would have fired them day one. They are terrible villains, and we're gonna move on to our next point. Now, in Digimon, they don't have just one singular enemy. Now, of course, you do have your one-off villains like Dark Tyrannomon, Bakimon, Raremon, just to name a few. But then you have more in-depth villains like Myotismon, who was just such a hater, hating on the Digidestins, that he became a literal demon and was wreaking even more havoc. You have Idamon, who was so hilarious, but at the same time, such a pain in the side of the Digidestin. And then you have Gatomon, who's just looking for a redemption and trying to turn a new leaf from her evil ways. You have Black War Greymon, who is just such a loner and just trying to find himself and his purpose for existing. 12, better pacing. Now, the pacing in Pokemon isn't bad, but it is just a tad bit repetitive because it follows the same format every single episode. In Digimon, everything flows a lot better. It's just one congruent story to get you to that point where you're so invested in it that you just can't wait to see how the Digidestin save the digital world. Which brings us to 13, which is better finale. Now, the Pokemon finale, it was not as enthusiastic because we've literally seen Ash do the entire thing to each gym leader throughout the entire series. There's no real uniqueness to it. It's just the same format, but I guess on a grander stage, if that really is what you can call it. The Digimon finale was being built up throughout the entire series. You couldn't wait to see the Digidestin save the digital world, defeat Devimon, overcome all the obstacles that they have throughout the series. You saw the characters being built up. You saw their courageousness come to the forefront. You've seen them and their Digimon bond in a way and with each other in a way that wasn't really expected at the beginning. And Digimon has really done a phenomenal job at doing that, building up their opponents, their friendship, their desire to save the digital world. It's peak and it's unmatched. And last but definitely not least, number 14. All the characters are important. You see, Digimon wasn't designed to just capture one person. Digimon was meant to capture people from all different personality types and backgrounds. If you were a smart kid, you really related to Izzy. If you liked soccer or you had that leadership instinct, you really liked Ty. If you were kind of a loner, you kind of related to Matt a little bit more. Mimi was very, very prissy. You had TK, who was just a kid thrown into all this madness, terrified. Of course, you had Joe, who was just kind of the awkward guy. Then there was Sora. Her mom didn't believe in her dreams and wanted her to pursue the family business. You had Kari, who was the innocent girl thrown into all this. Now, throughout Pokemon, Ash is the only important, well, Pikachu may or may not be more important than Ash, but they didn't really take the time to nurture and focus on the characters surrounding Ash. In Pokemon, even Ash's Pokemon weren't even important enough to incorporate in the story long term, because at the end of the season, what happened? Dropped them off at Professor Oak's, continued on with his life as though he never met them. Kind of like the deadbeat dad that Goku is. Even the Digimon were just so important and a focal part of the story and developing the characters along the way. I don't believe the story would be as good if they weren't there for their partners the way that they were. You have Palmon paired with Mimi, symbolizing there are times where she will need to get her hands dirty. Tai and Agumon, in which Agumon really symbolizes his strength and fearlessness. There's Izzy and Tentamon. Tentamon really representing Izzy's anxiousness. You have Matt and Gabumon. Gabumon representing the lone wolf ways, reminding him that wolves still need family and a pack to survive. TK and Patamon, with Patamon always being the symbol of he'll always be his guardian angel. You have Kari and Gatomon, which Kari really represents that there's always forgiveness and redemption when you're willing to do the right thing. Sora and Biyomon, with Biyomon helping Sora overcome that depression, being that best friend that she needed. And then you have Joe and Gomamon, with Gomamon always playing into Joe's anxiety, at the same time always showing him that though life can be unpredictable at times, in the end everything will always be okay. Hey, what's up guys, Pierre Rouge here. This was my first episode of Do You Like Anime? Did you agree that Digimon is a better series than Pokemon, or do you disagree? Pokemon is better than Digimon? Let me know in the comments down below. And also, I make music. If you guys ever want to check that out, I'll leave a link to my music down in the description. But also, let me know in the comments what you guys want to talk about next. Till next time, this is Pierre Rouge. Do You Like Anime? Signing off.
Tell she eat good, no crumbs left on the floor side. You can tell me she good, body saying courtside. I just know I need her, the tight ain't in my soul.